So I was just finishing up the UK basketball game. I had a early game today since we're on Christmas break, and I was kind of flipping through the TikTok videos during the commercials, and one of them really resonated with me, and it just hit home because of what my mom was kind of going through over the last day or two with Christmas, and I'll tell you what that is. And so mom was always the glue that held us together at Christmas. And, she was always making candy and cookies and fudge. And I mean, you name it, she would make it. And, growing up, she would make ornaments that, I mean, if Etsy were a thing back then, she would have made a killing on it. I mean, she could make anything, and people would order ornaments, and she would just be sitting there with her craft stuff all the time, and hot glue guns and, glue and all this stuff, making stuff. But I mean, she even outfitted a Christmas tree for my track team to raffle off whenever we were trying to raise money to get new uniforms. And that was a big hit, you know, but um she was always full of Christmas joy, and still is. But, you know, she ordered a gift for each of the wives of her, of her boys. And so there's three of us. And so when she ordered it, she was like, "Hey, do you all think, that the girls would like this?" And so we were all like, "Yeah, that'd be great." So what it was one of the Snuggie blankets um, that you can put your feet in, and you put your arms through and all this stuff. And they're supposed to be heated. Well, when she got them in, they weren't heated, and they took forever because they actually came from China instead of California. And so she was so mad. She was so aggravated. She wasn't. She was, skeptical if they were even going to get here in time. But when they did get here, she was so mad. She was like, "I just got ripped off. This is ridiculous," And so I was like, "Well, Mom, just leave a nasty message on their website and tell everybody." And so she, I guess, lit into them on there, and then all these other people, according to Mom, made mad face emojis. So I guess they had been ripped off too. And then all of a sudden, that company turns off their comments. So, Mom evidently was onto something there. So, um, but anyway, she was so upset over that. And, we were just like, "Mom, you know, we don't, none of us care if we get anything. It's, it's just being together, because that happens fewer and fewer times each year because everybody's so busy and going different ways." And, we were trying to find just like everybody else does, we were trying to find a day that everybody could be there, and so it's just going to happen to be Christmas Eve. And, my daughter's coming over with the new grandbaby, and my son's coming down. And, there's just a bunch of us are going to be there. And my brothers and their families. And so we were just like, "Mom, it's fine. Don't stress about it." And, but she was just so disappointed because she thought that was going to be the biggest hit, and it still will be. We were just like, "Mom, they'll love it regardless. We're telling you, it'll be fine." So then she's talking about something that happened, with like a Walmart order that they didn't include this and they didn't include that. And, "Oh, it's just, I'm so aggravated and all this." And we're just like, "Mom, just calm down. It's okay. We you're putting so much effort into trying to make it perfect for everybody, but perfect for us is you just being there for everybody." And she just always was so over the top with decorations and making things, candy, fudge, all that stuff when we were growing up, like I said. And, and she's just not really been into the spirit this year. And, we lost my pops 6 years ago. And, and every Christmas seems like it's been a little harder to get through. And but we're all thankful that we're all still here. And you know we just want to be around each other. And so I saw something on TikTok today when I was flipping through during the ball game, and it said, "Christmas now, as you get older, when you're in your 40s and 50s, it's less about what's under the tree and more about who's around the tree." And that just hit me like a hammer. I mean, it just, because to me, like growing up, that was the biggest thing. I mean, you barely remember all the stuff you got when you were growing up. I mean, there might be a few things, but I remember hanging out with my cousins and my aunts and uncles and everybody laughing and trying to squeeze into my grandma's small little house, and or being at my aunt and uncle's, and their big huge house, but we still filled it up with everybody and just had the best times, and watching football and all that stuff. And now a lot of those people are gone, and or you just don't see them anymore because their families have all, you know, gotten bigger. So I just wanted to share that message with you. And if you're struggling with Christmas or getting in the spirit or whatever, if you've seen some of my other videos, I mean, kind of my history with the holidays, but mom always was the glue, and I just hated to see her stressing over something that just isn't going to matter, and hopefully you and your loved ones are, you know, going to be able to get together, going to be able to celebrate, laugh, make memories. Can't wait to have my grandbaby over, because it'll be the first time that she gets to meet my brothers, and that's going to be special. Um, like I said, it wouldn't matter if we got a thing, just as long as we could all be together. So I just wanted to share that with you. I thought that was a very um, powerful statement, and hopefully you can kind of apply that if you guys are struggling and make your all's holiday better. Merry Christmas.